أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Okay, kids, so this is Prophet Musa alayhi salam story. This is part 5. So we'll be doing the last parts. I'm going to read a dua. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Okay, and I'm going to ask maybe one or two people that do you know anything about this dua? Did this dua ever get used? Who can tell me, did this dua ever get used? Rabbish rahli sadri. I'm going to give a little tiny hint. This is a dua where we want to be very confident and we want to say, oh Allah, take the knot out of my tongue and may they understand me. May I be fluent. May they be able to understand me. Do you think this dua was ever used? Did Musa alayhi salam ever ask about this dua? What do you think? What do you think, Zuhaira? Did Musa alayhi salam ever ask about this dua? Yes, this was the dua that Musa alayhi salam had asked, okay, from Allah. If you go watch in the second part, I think, or the third part, this was the dua when Allah said, go to the Pharaoh and talk to him. So Musa alayhi salam was asked a dua from Allah. Oh, Rabbish Rahli, oh Lord, give me peace of mind, strengthen my chest for me, so that I may have confidence. Rabbish Rahli Sadri, wa yassirli amri, make my task easy. Wa yassirli amri, wahlul uqdatam min lisani, and take the knot out of my tongue so that they may be able to understand me. So this was a very important dua which is being said by them. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, so part 4. There were so many in part 4 of Musa alayhi salam. There were so many punishments. Okay, the punishment of the frog, the punishment of the blood. And tell me, Zuhaira, let me ask Zuhaira. Zuhaira, tell me, did Pharaoh understand? Did Pharaoh listen to Musa alayhi salam? Did he release the Bani Israel?
Mm. Pharaoh did.
Yeah, he did not, right? He did not release Bani Israel. Okay, so that is the main. Now what happens that he is still proud. Okay, he is not, he saw so many punishments, but he is not letting the slaves Bani Israel leave. Okay, so finally when the Pharaoh would not let the children of Israel go with Musa alayhi salam, Allah's order came to leave the land of Pharaoh and go migrate towards the promised land. This was to be done secretly in the middle of the night. The Bani Israel would migrate. Okay, secretly in the middle of the night, Bani Israel would migrate. Okay, now what's happening? The whole entire night they prepared and they migrated and they left the land of Pharaoh. Okay, and they are going all night. They've been walking and early in sunrise they see everything. They reach the Red Sea. And then what happens? Okay, I'm gonna ask Fahim, then what do you think happens? They are walking towards the Red Sea. They're very happy, oh, we have we are out of the reach of the pharaohs. We are so much far from the land. Then what happens? What do you think happens? Of course we don't.
Maybe the Pharaoh like sees them, and maybe like he
uh,
will act on second thought, maybe he actually like try and travels, but they go too far and
okay.
he can't find them.
Okay, yes, because they've been walking all night, right? They've been walking all night and they've reached the Red Sea now. Okay, but let's see what happens. Okay, to their amazement, they look back. What do they see? Oh no! What do they see? They see a lot of pharaohs because the pharaohs have horses and they have carts and they have chariots and they have all those, they have swords and they have so many things. Well, remember last time the pharaoh said, okay, early sunrise, we are gonna go find them and we are going to kill each and every slave. We are gonna kill each and every Bani Israel. We're not letting them go. They don't want to be our slaves. Good, let's kill them. Let's get rid of them. Okay, so at a distance, this is what they see. Okay, they are coming more closer, more closer. Now this is what they see. Okay, they are all ready and they are in their war equipment. So it's not a big surprise for anybody to find out that, hey, why are they coming to us in war equipment and all upset and angry and with their swords and spears and everything? Definitely is going to be a very big, it's going to be a very, it's going to be terrible. They're going to kill everybody. So that's what seems. And Bani Israel is really upset, and Bani Israel goes to the goes to Musa alayhi salam, and Bani Israel is not happy. And let's see what happens next. What does Bani Israel say? Is Bani Israel patient? No, Bani Israel is really nervous. Everybody is really upset. Everybody is really nervous. They're like, oh, Musa alayhi salam, you brought us out of Egypt to get us killed. We were better as slaves. It's okay. We were at least alive. You bring us out. You want to take us to the promised land. Look at us. We are not reaching the promised land. We are all going to die. Okay, then what happens next? Okay, what happens next? What's happening? The Pharaoh's army had found them. They were trapped between the Red Sea and the fast approaching army of the Pharaoh. Okay. And when the two hosts saw each other, then what happened? When the two hosts saw each other, the companions of Musa said, surely we are overtaken. He said, now who said? Musa alayhi salam said, never. Indeed, with me is my Lord. And this is all a part of the Quran. The Quran says, qala. He said, kalla. No, never. Inna ma'iya rabbi sayahdeen. Never. Indeed, with me is my Lord. And Musa alayhi salam can see that, we are trapped. In front of us is the sea. On the sides, they are the cliffs, and in the back, and what's coming to us? For everybody, it's like certain death coming to them, right? So they see everything. But no, Musa alayhi salam is calm and contained. And he says, never. Indeed, with me is my Lord. Then what happens? Bani Israel thought that this was certain death, no place to run, no place to hide, there is no place. And now what happens? Now Allah orders Musa alayhi salam, okay? And the order is, and when we let the children of Israel cross the sea. Okay, now the children of Israel are crossing the sea. Allah orders Musa alayhi salam that, oh Musa alayhi salam, hit your staff onto the water. And Musa alayhi salam takes his staff and he hits it onto the water, and guess what? A passageway, a dry passageway starts to get formed. And imagine, it's the whole entire sea. But just imagine Musa alayhi salam hits his staff and a big dry pathway gets formed, and Bani Israel start to get in, and it's not dry, it's not slippery, it's not moist, there are no creatures. It's like two big balls, two big mountains of water standing towards your left and right, and a big gap in between, and they're walking in between. The entire Bani Israel walks, and they have their carts, they have their, all ages. The old are there, the weak are there, the children are there, everybody is there. Musa alayhi salam takes everybody out. They reach the middle, and then slowly, gradually, they go walk out. And Allah had helped them, because the it was like a bridge had formed. It was like pretty, like the way wasn't up and down. It was pretty straight, like a dry bridge. Everybody walked through it. Everybody reached the other side. And then what happened? Okay, let's see. What do you think the Pharaoh is thinking? Okay, let's see. Maham, what do you think are the bad people thinking? The Pharaoh's army. What is their response? What do you think they are thinking about all this?
Or maybe they think that Allah is real.
Yeah, maybe they think Allah is real. I think it's about time they should think Allah is real. Look, Allah saved them, the mountain got split. Well, Maham, this was supposed to be what they should have thought. But Pharaoh was with them. He was really proud. He still did not think this. This was the kind of the mature idea that should come to you, that, okay, I think now we should believe in Allah. We should just drop down and we should stop. No, What did not happen. Okay, now when Musa alayhi salam, this is what we were talking about. The way is getting formed, and Musa alayhi salam took everybody. So now the water is like it's standing up like it's high above mountain. It looks like a mountain. The water is standing still for Musa alayhi salam and his men. And what does the Pharaoh think? The Pharaoh thinks this is for me. Allah, I have this is because of me for my honor. And guess what? Musa alayhi salam was asked to strike the sea with his staff. A dry path was formed for the entire Bani Israel to cross across the Red Sea into the Arabian Peninsula. Then what happened? Okay, now we still see everybody is still going. Okay, they're slaves, they're still going. Everything looks good. Okay, and then what happens? This is the time when Musa alayhi salam took everybody out, and Musa alayhi salam stood up. And what does Musa alayhi salam see? What? The Pharaoh is trying to come into the water. They are still in their same, they're still in their same behavior. They are still coming after us to kill us. They are still with their swords, and instead of staying there, and instead of saying, oh, we believe, or just not following us, believing that Allah has helped them. No, they are not doing that. They are following them inside. They also follow them because Pharaoh thinks that this way has been made for me. I am the god of this sea. I am the god of River Nile. And they start coming inside when the army comes right in the middle of that dry bed. Guess what happens? So we seized them. Now, this is Allah saying what happened. Now, Allah starts seizing them. Okay. Now the water came back. Everybody is in the water. Everybody is, going up and down in the water. So, and his hosts, and threw them into the sea. Look, then how was the fate of the wrongdoers? Okay, so Allah helped the Bani Israel, but what happened to his enemies and to the hosts of his enemies? Allah threw them into the sea. Okay, and look what's happening. This is what happens to the wrongdoers. At least some of his army people, some of the people of the Pharaoh should have stayed back, and they should have realized, but nobody realized. The Pharaoh is not realizing, the army, the people are not realizing that this is from Allah's side. And then this is what happened, and drowned the people of Pharaoh while you were looking. Now this is Allah is asking you, did you see how Allah drowned the people of Pharaoh while you were looking on? Who was looking on? The Bani Israel, the Bani Israel, Prophet Musa alayhi salam's people, the Bani Israel. They saw everything, that their entire army, their entire enemies, are in front of them. Everybody is drowning, everybody is going down. And what about the Pharaoh? Let's see what the Pharaoh thinks now. He's drowning, he's almost dying. Now, what does he say? Okay, Pharaoh, what do you say now? When the Pharaoh was about to drown, he said, I believe that there is no God but the one in whom the children of Israel believe, and I am among those who submit to Allah. Okay, let's ask. Who should I ask? Okay, let's ask Anabia. Anabia, is this a good time to say sorry to Allah when you're almost dead?
Yes.
It's still a good time. Thank God he asked. But the question is Allah going to forgive him now? That's the question. He's almost drowning. Allah gave him so many chances, so many chances. Now, when he's about to die, his soul is about to come out. And now he says, I believe in you, Allah. You know why he says that? Because now he saw the angels also, the angel of death. And he now, when he's about to die, he saw some more extraordinary things coming his way. And now he says, oh Allah, I believe in you. So let's see. Let me ask Mikhail. Mikhail, do you think this is too late? It's
Maybe not.
maybe not.
There's a 50-50%.
50-50%. Okay, let's see which 50 Allah chooses. Okay, because I think it's too late. Allah, what do you think? What do you think? He is the same man, remember, who killed so many kids. Remember that one year? If you look at part one, part two, the first year when he found out that there is going to be somebody who's going to overthrow them, he killed all the boys of that time, of that year. He killed all the boys. Okay, this is the same man who did something very bad to his wife. Remember the Queen Asiya? Now, next time I'm going to tell you he did such a bad thing to his wife, Queen Asiya. Also, why? Because she became Muslim, so he did something very bad to very bad to her. Okay, I'll tell you, but actually, it's going to be he kind of crucified his own wife also, because she became Muslim, and he's been making all those people the slaves. He worked so hard, and he's been killing people, and he's been doing such a bad thing, and Allah showed him one after the other, one after the other. Oh, please believe. One sign, two sign, three sign, one punishment, two, but he would not. This last thing should have been it, when the whole entire sea opened up and all the Bani Israel got saved. This should have been it. He should have understood, because guess what? Now Allah is not. Let's see what the Quran says. Okay, so this is all part of the Quran. The Pharaoh said, so all recordings of the Quran. Now the whole entire army is decomposed, is gone, but nothing happened to the Pharaoh's body, because Allah's promise has come true. Allah said in the Quran, his body will be saved. His body is out. Soon after, what happened? The priests came. They picked up his body. They did not worry about the other people's body. No, he's the king. He's supposed to be mummified. So they took his body. They were amazed that, hey, the sea did nothing to his body. He's fine, just dead. And then what happened? Preparing now all these priests, we know that in ancient Egypt they used to do that, right? They used to mummify their kings. They used to put them in their tombs. They used to put all their valuables with them, their gold, their vessels, their clothes. They used to think something glorious is going to happen to them. Well, let's see what happens to this how he's going to be mummified. Preparing the body to mummify it, and then to hide it in the tomb with all his precious belongings, thinking he would ascend to the skies and become a god in the skies. Now, the crazy belief that they used to think that every time we mummify a body and we put it in the tomb or in the pyramid or somewhere, soon after, what happens? That mummy, that king ascends to the skies, and he becomes like a star. So they used to see all the stars in the sky, and used to think, oh, that one must be king, that king, and this king, and that king. So they're like, all superstitions, all just, fake belief. Okay, so yes, they did do all that to him. They prepared his body, and they did everything, and we'll just see, in a minute, then what happens. Okay, so just a little note. This was happening in Egypt, and when they crossed the sea, so this is the Red Sea. When they crossed the sea, guess what? They came somewhere in Saudi Arabia. Okay, so they came out somewhere in Saudi Arabia. That's amazing, in the Arab Peninsula. So they came out there. Okay, and now they are walking towards the promised land with Musa alayhi salam. Everybody is happy also that, oh, we got saved. We saw all the enemy die right in front of our eyes. Now, no, but now they can't pursue us. They can't follow us, So they're kind of very happy. Big miracle. The whole entire army and Pharaoh drowned in front of their eyes. And guess what? Allah showed them the Pharaoh's body, that the sea, spat him out, The sea threw him out. They also saw the dead Pharaoh's body lying. So they are like, for sure, okay, all enemy gone, dead. Okay, now let's go back. Okay, so what is this happening here? Well, guess what? The mummy, first of all, when they do, they prepare all the mummy, they put whatever they have to, they put it in this thing, okay? And then this is like the first covering that would really make it safe. Okay, so they have a lot of stuff on the body, whatever they have in that time, the chemicals and everything, they put it on the body to mummify it. Then they put it in this kind of a coffin. Look at the coffin, they kind of make it very beautiful. They kind of make it like the king's real face, and they look at all this amazing work. And this is, by the way, this is something real we are looking at. This came out of the excavations. So this is kind of something real. Okay, then what happens? Okay, so once again, they mummified the body, they put it in this coffin, then they put it in this kind of a thing so that it remains even more, protected. And then what happened? And then they hid it in the pyramid or in the tomb. And then what happened? Okay, so they are have really did a very good job, and nobody knew. And then they hid it in Egypt in one of the mountains, and they hid it, and then nobody knows the entrance. Nobody knew the entrance. It was even said that when the workers used to finish helping and putting the king and his gold and his belongings, and then they used to seal off all the entrances and the exits, everything sealed off, and then they used to kill the workers also, so that it would remain a big secret. Nobody would ever know where the entrance is, because they don't want anybody to go disturb the king, because they think the king is going to go ascend to the skies. Okay, then what happened? Okay, now this is also some of the very, this is the same Pharaoh built amazing things also. Okay, so look at the size of the people and look at the size of all this. So this was kind of like his, one of the things he built, in his time. Okay, let's go more, let's go ahead. Okay, surprise. After, what should I say? After 3,000 years, you want to see the mummy after 3,000 years? Let's ask Maham. Maham, do you want to see him after 3,000 years? Mikhail, do you want to see him after 3,000 years?
Yes.
Sure.
This story happened 3,000 years back. Allah said, I'm going to keep his body. Okay, Allah said his body is going to remain a sign. Well, guess what? The Quran said that, and the Quran got revealed 14 and a half hundred years back. So all the Muslims used to read this, and the Muslims used to say, oh, the Pharaoh of body is somewhere safe. Allah said it's there. So every Muslim believed it, and every non-Muslim used to make fun of it. Hey, where is the Pharaoh's body? The Muslims have believed the Pharaoh's body is still there. What a joke. And the Muslims used to say, no, 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 it is there. It is there. It is somewhere there, but it is there. This is the Muslim belief. It is said in the Quran. And then what happened? Something amazing happened. Quran's prophecy for 1,000 years, Quran said that no, his body is somewhere safe. After 1,000 years plus, his body comes out. Where does his body come out from? Well, his body comes out from one of these tombs. And somebody, there was like very famous, like tomb robbers. They were trying their best to find the entrance, and they finally found the entrance. And guess what? By then, that time, Egypt was Muslim now. Everybody was Muslim. So the authorities got hold of that robber, and they found the entrance, and they went in, and they were amazed. What? This is the Pharaoh of the time. This is that Pharaoh. He's from the time of Musa alayhi salam. And this has to be him. And all the Muslims started becoming happy and rejoicing, and then what happened? Okay, let's see. And this is what came out of this. Look at this. 3,000 years, but he's not a skeleton. He looks, his facial features are also there. He does not look like a skeleton. His body is kind of there, and his features are also there. Okay, let's go see. So in 1881, his body was discovered, in one of the tombs. So this is the year 1881. Okay, then what? So look, he does not look like a skeleton. He looks like a pretty much. Fahim, what do you think? Does he look like a skeleton, or you can actually see his features?
Yeah.
Yeah, so even the people, archaeologists of that time, and everybody, they were like, hey, you know what? He looks like the only one of the only mummified bodies that looks intact. They were amazed, and the Muslims said, of course, it's going to be intact. The Quran predicted it. That Allah said that nothing can happen to his body. His body is going to remain a sign till the end of time. Okay, then let's see some other things. Hey, remember all these scenes, the pharaohs coming after them and this and that? Well, guess what? These were the chariots used and all those, right? Guess what? Today, when they started, or they started doing it long time back, but today when they went and saw inside the Red Sea, they were amazed. Why there are so many skeletons right in there? If you see on YouTube videos, they'll show you so many skeletons lying in that same area where they say that Musa alayhi salam had crossed. Now they saw animal skeletons, so many human skeletons over there, and then they saw horse. What? Horses should not be in the middle of the sea. What is this? Remains of horses? What is this? Because this is like a Quranic story. This is also in the Bible, but the Bible has made mistakes in there. Quran gives very accurate statements, and those have come true. So what? Right in the they do they go deep down to find what happened in that area. What? Like animal, like horse hooves in the sea? What? So that's how we know that, oh, this actually happened 3,000 years back. What other things happened there? So this kind of chariot wheels, guess what? This kind of chariot wheels were found in there also. So this was also amazing, that what kind of, how is this happening? Why do we have like chariot wheels and all these things over there? It was pretty amazing, that all these things. One last amazing thing that I'm going to tell you is about one professor. Okay, so it's about a professor, and okay, last 2 minutes and we're done. Okay, so this story is about professor, and his name was Professor Morris Bucay. So he was born in 1920 and he died in 1998. Now, what happened? He was a professor in very famous. Okay, so he's like a doctor. He's like a specialist in the field of gastroenterology, and like a born Christian. Okay, so he got really interested and he took special permissions and he wanted to study this body of Pharaoh. And he was like, with great permission, he could take the body from Egypt to France because they had some more, knowledge, and they had some more study, and they had some, they could actually restore the body of the and study it more and do some testing on the body and just to find out that his body is from which year, which mummy, which king is it. So they made all those, they made all those things. So finally, what the finding was? The finding was that the pharaoh died by drowning. What? He was like, hey, he's a king. How could he drown? So, but the finding was that he drowned. He died by drowning, as the sea salt stuck inside his body, and that his body must have been recovered swiftly after drowning. So it was also obviously obvious that they rushed the mummy. They took the body and mummified his body very quickly so that the body could stay intact. So all this is like his study that he must have drowned, and then the priest must have taken him out, and he would have quickly taken to and then somebody told him, oh yeah, this is like a big belief of the Muslims that his body is going to be found, and look, his body is found. And he was amazed. What? And then they said, oh yeah, the Muslims clearly say that this man, he died by drowning. And he was amazed that I took so much time and I did so much study, and Muslims already know that this is the Pharaoh from the time of Moses, number one, and they already know that he drowned, and they already know that his body is going to remain intact, and his body is safe, and his body is going to be a sign for the end of time. He was amazed, he was mind blown. How did the Muslims know that? So finally, after all this research, after the body comes back to Egypt and it's in the whole big museum and everything, you know what this professor does, Professor Morris Bucay? He goes to Saudi Arabia. And he went there to attend a medical conference, and he talked to some of the people that, I hear the Muslim belief. So a lot of the people over there started reciting the Quranic verses, and for example, one of the Quranic verses was like, وَإِذْ فَرَقْنَا بِكُمُ الْبَحْرَ فَأَنْجَيْنَاكُمْ وَأَغْرَقْنَا آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ وَأَنْتُمْ تَنْظُرُونَ. Or another, like there are several Quranic ones, but the most one is, that we are going to keep his body intact. So when he found out all this, the Muslims, the scholars, he was so interested. He went to the scholars showed him everything that, this is in the Quran. We already knew this would happen. This is no big thing for us. We already knew his body would be found. We already knew he drowned. We already knew he was from that time. So finally, do you know what happened? This person converted to Islam. He became Muslim. And now there are documentaries about him. If you go and check on YouTube, his name is Morris Bucay, and born in 1920. you can go and you can research more about him. Okay, kids, I'll let you go. This was Musa, Prophet Musa alayhi salam's, part 5, and I hope you enjoyed it. Fahim, what do you think? What do you think? Let me ask. Let me ask Mikhail. Mikhail, what do you think? Did you enjoy this story?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad actually.
Okay, did you think, let me ask Fahim. Fahim, are you amazed that the Quranic prophecy came true?
It was a pretty nice story.
Okay,
So
mashallah.
like
Yeah, mashallah, mashallah. Let me ask Ahlam quickly. Okay, Ahlam, unmute. So Ahlam, this is one of the prophecies. Was it an amazing prophecy that came true? The
Yeah.
Quran, yeah, Quran said 1,000 years back, before the body of Pharaoh came out, the Quran said his body is going to be intact. He died by drowning. The Quran tells us the entire story, and imagine, this is exactly what happens. So this is like a big claim of the Quran. If the Quran wasn't true, so many prophecies wouldn't have come true. And if this Quran was a work of man, guess what? There would have been a lot of prophecies, but the prophecies never happened. So the prophecies of the Quran have come true. That's why this Quran is not a work of man. This is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's words. Okay, I'll let everybody go. Assalamu alaikum.